Leading local today in our top story, after 8 years, Governor Doug Burgum is wrapping up his time in office. He's now preparing to take on a cabinet position under President-elect Donald Trump. But Governor Burgum says there are a few things to finish up in Bismarck before he and his wife officially move to Washington, D.C.
When you say yes to a meeting, you're probably saying no to 3 other ones.
It was a tight calendar, but as he had hours remaining in his second term, Governor Doug Burgum said he wanted to make sure to pencil in plenty of time for gratitude on the way out.
This is a job where it's a 7 by 24 by 365 job, but that is part of the privilege of serving.
Burgum's final week in office was mostly business as usual. That included one final industrial commission and state water commission meeting.
I'd like to have stuff wrapped up as opposed to, hand it off to Kelly. I'd rather have it all wrapped up with a bow on it, so that my team's been pushing very hard, just like we did on the budget.
It's a reversal of sorts for Burgum, who is preparing to head to Washington, D.C., just as fellow Republican and Governor-elect Kelly Armstrong is returning to North Dakota after serving 3 terms in Congress.
I'm going to miss a lot about D.C.
Kelly is exceptionally well positioned to step right into this role, having the work that he did when he was working as a defender in the court system.
As he prepares to leave office, Burgum is touting North Dakota's current economic climate, as well as some of the achievements he and state leaders have passed in the last 8 years.
We're making government more efficient. We've cut income taxes completely gone for 60% of North Dakotans. That allows them to keep more money in their pockets.
Burgum recalls at the start of his first term, the DAPL protests were intensifying at Standing Rock, but in the last 8 years, he says he has worked to improve tribal relations. In the last year, Burgum has also logged thousands of miles, campaigning with Donald Trump as the former president made his case to voters for a second term. At a gathering in Mar-a-Lago last month, Trump announced he wanted Burgum to join him as Secretary of the Interior.
So I won't tell you his name. It might be something like Burgum. He's from North Dakota. He's going to be announced tomorrow for a very big position.
I've been sort of working 2 jobs right now, wrapping up governor and trying to get ramped up there, but I can jump into that full-time starting this next weekend.
Burgum tells me this is one of the first times in almost a decade that he'll get to spend a few weeks living as a civilian. He says he and his family will get to enjoy the holidays, but once the new year starts, life only becomes more hectic.
It's about 75, 76 days in that time frame, and it's a little bit like a startup because there's hundreds and hundreds of positions that need to be appointed.
As he now waits on his confirmation hearing, it will be former Governor and now Senator John Hoeven, who serves on the Energy and Natural Resources Committee, who will likely be instrumental in Burgum's hearing.
As governor of my home state of North Dakota, Doug has the right background and experience to lead the Department of Interior and all of the new administration's energy efforts.
We spent 2 hours together one evening after hours, talking through, and he's been on the other side of these confirmation hearings. I mean, he's been through hundreds and hundreds of these. I'm sure he's been through 1,000 interviews.
Meanwhile, in his expected role, Burgum could also be instrumental in policy making in western North Dakota, including finishing construction of the Theodore Roosevelt Presidential Library, as well as the fate of almost 200 wild horses in Teddy Roosevelt National Park.
We've got a couple hundred at the park in North Dakota. They've got tens of thousands across some of these lands across the West. And I think that there's governors from all over these western states are calling for new approaches, and regardless of party. And so I'm excited about the fact that I think there's an opportunity to come in and think about doing things differently.
Burgum has not said just yet what that approach to the wild horses could be, but he recognizes the affection and the attention the horses attract.
The wild horses inside the park are they're the most popular living things in our state, including every politician, including every coach, every sports team. I mean, they've got a following like none other.
Meanwhile, as he prepares for a move of several thousand miles to take on a new federal role, Burgum says he can still be instrumental in North Dakota's future success.
The legacy that I have relative to North Dakota is unfinished. So I hope there's people that are still looking forward as opposed to looking back, because we've got more work to do, and I'm optimistic that I'll be in a position to continue to positively impact North Dakota in the new roles that I'm hope to have.
Because not only could he soon serve as Interior Secretary, but also as the chairman of the newly formed National Energy Council. In Bismarck, Joel Porter for KX News.
So far, the Senate is set to adjourn for Christmas and the New Year on December 20th. A spokesperson for Senator Hoeven's office tells KX News that Burgum's confirmation wouldn't happen until at least January 3rd.